Uniquely Wisconsin is about the people behind the places.
From the emotional to the heartwarming, to the humorous and historic.
We hope you like these stories because they are your stories, our Wisconsin.
We are here in Lena, Wisconsin for mayhem at the Motorplex.
There's a lot of racers that live within this area that race in the off-road racing circuit and felt that it would be great if we could bring something to our hometown. We are all passionate about it. Why not have our own track? Why not grow our mission, our ideas? And it's been a fun ride. You know, and we built it up from nothing. It was a hayfield, and we built it into this complex it is today. And that was because of the hard efforts of the people that are involved in it.
The whole thing behind it is it's a track built by racers for racers, so it means a lot more than, you know, kind of any other track that we go to.
So we are on 3rd generation now. My sons are both racing and my niece and nephew are racing. So this has been, we're celebrating, our team is 30 years this year. So we've been doing this a long time.
It's one of the tracks it's super tight. So, you know, a lot of these guys that have big horsepower trucks come out here and it's a whole different ballgame because it's such a tight course. So it really takes a good driver in order to, you know, get on top of the box.
Can't be scared. You gotta be fearless. Once you get scared and get in your own head, that's when you slow down. You just kind of gotta not care and just do your thing, you know? That's kind of my mentality. Just roll with the punches and keep going, never give up.
The smell of the race fuel and the sound of the engines, it gets your heart rate up. It really does. It's not watching cars go around and around in a circle. It's flying over the jumps and sliding in the turns and banging fenders.
Come on, square her up. Drive straight, drive straight, drive straight, drive straight. Come on. Set him up here, set him up. He's holding you up. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably the biggest rush you'll ever have. The adrenaline is unlike anything else. You know, you get in the vehicle and you almost black out from the time you get out there to the time you're off the track because it's just everything's going and flowing and the most unreal experience. From the first time I did it till now, it's never changed. Your heart just starts pumping and it's probably the coolest experience.
And Tyson Marquardt able to get around Jake Kosmecki. Here comes Dylan Marquardt now all over the back bumper of Kosmecki. Watch, he just outbrakes Kosmecki going into that.
If you come here and experience it, you're gonna wanna come back year after year after year. So it's something that once you go to once, you're gonna wanna do it the rest of your life.
That felt good. That felt fast.
Dirt City Motorplex is kind of my home race. When I was in high school, I tell my friends that this is my home game. I have thousands of laps here. We go here all the time to practice and test and try stuff. So this is kind of my track, but every year the results aren't the best. So we're hoping for a good year and to break that hometown curse.
These drivers are struggling here in Lena, Wisconsin, trying to rotate these Pro 4s. Johnny Holder's gonna click off another lap. Well, Carlson gained about 7/10 of a second on that last lap, so he is setting sail. Whoa, and there's Andrew Carlson upside down in turn 1. That's gonna put John Holcher into the lead. Unbelievable.
This is where it's at. It's not as big, but hopefully someday it will be, and this is truly where my heart is in off-road, short course off-road racing.
We are a village of 560 people, and we have over 300 volunteers that come and make this happen. We are a unique community. We are a community of doers. Everybody lends a hand, young and old, kids to adults.
When everybody comes together like that, it just shows you how strong the community really is. And you know, when you can say you have a track built by your hometown, everybody you've known your whole life, and you know, just to see how that all comes together and all the great memories it creates too. You know, it's kind of surreal.
It's rewarding. It's very rewarding to see what a sport that we're so passionate about can bring back to our little community.
If you enjoyed this story, you won't want to miss our other Oconto County stories, including Northport Marine and the incredible fishing opportunities. And meet the minds behind Braised North, a charming Northwoods restaurant. Up next, we dive into Jefferson County's efforts to improve the health of their residents with the Youth Stabilization Program.
I originally was a single parent when I was at the young age of 20. I relied on some different community resources, and as I finished my degree, I really wanted to give back and help others that might be in similar situations. So I took an intro to social work class, and I fell in love and knew that's what I wanted to do.
So I've been here a little over 20 years, and this is a great place. I believe in our mission here. I believe in the North Star that we all follow to deliver services and programming.
It's definitely tough work. As a whole, I love coming to work. I love working with children. I love working with families. I love seeing the little success, because it really is the little things that make a big difference for people. The good moments outweigh the bad moments all the time. So just focus on that and kind of hold on to them when you can.
So in 2021, when the foundation decided to purchase this campus, there was a really special part of campus that historically had served as a summer camp for young individuals with disabilities. And we really wanted to find a way that that facility could be repurposed to meet an important community need.
And that began kind of this quest to work with DHS and to build what we now call the Mott Center.
For the Mott Center, our goals are to reduce hospitalization for youth. It seems to be a go-to place for when youth become first entered into a system. So if police are called or child welfare calls, a lot of times if a youth is having a crisis, whether it's just emotional dysregulation, they end up going to a hospital. And so one of our goals is to help keep youth out of hospitals if they don't need that level of care.
The primary mission for the Mott Center is to be able to offer crisis stabilization services to our youth here locally. Because we have the facility here locally, then we're also able to continue visitation with parents and family and friends. They're able to continue in school, as well as continue to work with their local providers if they have local providers, so that continuity of care is in place.
The staff at the Mott Center are trained very intensively in trauma-informed care, but also trauma-responsive care. Also dialectical behavioral therapy, so the therapists there are intensely trained in DBT, and so they're receiving a wide array of DBT skills, cognitive behavioral therapy skills.
As a licensed professional counselor and having worked with youth and mental health for a long time now, I think that what we don't address continues. So if we don't address things, and if we can, especially for youth at younger ages, we can really do a lot more work with young people to help prevent some of the symptoms or the concerns they're having from perpetuating.
I think if mental health hasn't touched you yet, it will at some point in your life. The more we get the word out, the more we normalize, like, hey, a youth might need mental health services, or youth go in crisis sometimes. And Jefferson County having all of these resources and supports, I think, creates a collaboration that's really unique.
This community has a long history of working together to create a vibrant community where everyone can thrive. And in small communities, organizations often feel like they have really limited resources. But we've learned that when you align those limited resources of every agency towards, shared goals, that you really have some significant resources and can make a difference. I hope that people take away that when you're willing to collaborate, you can get stuff done. And if you bring a love of community, if you bring a willingness to learn and humility to not always be right, together you can accomplish some really amazing things that make your community a place where every child thrives.
If you enjoyed this story, uncover our other Jefferson County stories available on YouTube, including an inside look into the infamous Trek Bicycle Company and the history of one of Wisconsin's first dairy farms, Horde's Dairymen. Up next, the Erin's Nordic Center and its impact on biathletes and Nordic skiing in the Midwest.
Yep, stay strong in the arms. Nice work, that looks good.
My wife and I were at a World Cup event in Ruhpolding, Germany, and we're with the president of US Nordic and biathlon. And Max Cobb, who was the president at the time, I said, Max, where do most of the athletes in the US train? Because the Europeans have terrific facilities, and it's a very popular sport. And Max said, well, there's here and there's there. There's nothing in the Midwest. And I said, well, what does it take to build something like this?
The relationship with Erin's all started when I was actually at a race in Italy. And outside of our hotel in Italy, I saw an Erin's snowblower. And I was like, oh, that Erin's. They're based in Brillion, which is right down the road from where I grew up. So I reached out to Erin's and kept messaging them, and eventually they became a team sponsor of ours. And then a couple years later, they told me they were looking to put in some trails and some targets, and I didn't think it was gonna be that much, and then I came and toured the area, and I was just like blown away.
So Erin's Nordic Center is an outdoor recreation center here in Brillion, Wisconsin, and we offer Nordic skiing, biathlon, roller skiing, inline skating, quad skating, hiking, running, walking, and swimming.
So biathlon is a combination of cross-country skiing and precision marksmanship. There's many different distances that you can ski, but you have to, in most of the competitions, make 4 different stops at the biathlon range and shoot at 5 targets each time. You have to have these 2 diametrically opposed sports where you have high heart rate while you're skiing and try to lower that and control yourself while you're shooting at targets. Up until this was developed, the Midwest did not have this level of a training facility for biathlon. There are national training centers in the East and the West and in Alaska, but there really wasn't something that was right here in the Midwest to help these athletes. Coming up with a way that we can try to develop the Midwest better this is the perfect place for it.
I mean, I'm really excited to be back and working with Erin's more this year as an athlete ambassador, and really trying to introduce people and get them out here and realize what they have here. I think that's the biggest thing, is for people to realize and understand how special this facility really is, and hopefully to take advantage of it.
Nordic skiing is like skiing on snow. However, most people think it's like downhill going down the slope, but Nordic skiing is more like cross-country running.
So the UW Green Bay Nordic Ski Team, we are their home venue, and we have been since we opened our doors here, and we really have helped them continue to grow and build their team and be more competitive.
I truly believe that the Erin's Nordic Center has the capability of producing some of the best biathletes in the country and hopefully the world in the future, and that's what I would really love to see.
Hopefully, you know, we can create a Olympic athlete someday for Nordic skiing biathlon. So that's what we were told. They said, just wait, Monica, in 5 to 10 years, you're gonna have an athlete at the Olympic level come out of this venue. So.
If you want to see more Calumet County stories, like a coffee roaster turned entrepreneur, or a 100-year-old farm transformed into a gorgeous winery and venue, check us out on YouTube. Up next, we take a look into the people behind the exciting sport of dog sledding.
You're standing on the runners, and the only sounds are the swishing of the snow going underneath the runners, the breathing of your dogs, and the jingling of the harness on their collars. It's a moment that you can't recreate anywhere else. Most mushers aren't very successful if they do it alone. It is a sport that you can enjoy greatly with your family. My dad still trains with me. When my husband's at work, he will come over and help me hook up my teams.
Well, I first got introduced to dog sledding up in Anchorage, Alaska for the Fur Rendezvous. And I figured, well, let's see what the town has to offer. That's when I saw my first dog sled race, and I had never seen anything like it. And I had never seen such chaos.
When you have a support crew of mom and dad and brothers and husband, it's pretty awesome. You can't go wrong when your family is there to support you. Mushing can be many things. We happen to do sprint racing. And what that is we take anywhere from one dog up to an open team, which is as many dogs as you want. There are many different styles of mushing. We do the sprint, which is as fast as you can go over a short distance. Mid-distances, of course, longer distances. And then long distance, they camp on the trail.
You love running.
I like my nice, soft, warm bed, so that's not for me.
Louis, come. I know, you're saying hello, hello.
Luja. She's like, yes. My relationship with my lead dog, Luja, I got her from a mid-distance kennel when she was like 6.5 weeks old. He's my lead dog too. He's a little jealous. This is Boysen. Dude, I gotta talk about Luja. I'm sorry. Her drive is insane. Like, when I say drive, that's her willingness to give it her all. You know, you see those athletes, you're like, how do they do that? That's how I am with Luja. I'm like, how does she do that? She has so much drive in her. And that's not something I taught them. That's their amazing bloodlines. They're Alaskan Huskies, and their bloodlines come out of Alaska from the Iditarod.
Like Floyd out in the dog yard, he's actually Lucia's half brother. And he's just a happy big boy, and he seems to know what you're thinking all the time. Unlike Lucia here, she's putting on a big show. She can be a crab a lot of times, and she's crabby. Floyd, he's just happy all the time.
So we have 25 sled dogs, and a lot of them are retired, and they have a wonderful heated barn that they can hang out in the winter, and a nice cooled area in the summer.
We have a last stop kennel that if a dog comes in here, he's got a place for the rest of his life. So we end up with a lot of old dogs a lot of times. They got a home for life here.
What I love about it is the dogs. Anyone that has a pet knows that they love you no matter what. It just so happens that they've helped me to be a better athlete because they love to run, and I want to be part of their team, not just someone getting pulled around behind them.
Lincoln County is alive with competition, creativity, and community, including the legendary Tomahawk Fall Ride and the connection between the Ice Age Trail and Chris Schatz, available on YouTube. Up next, the important work of achieving handicap accessibility in Ryan Tim's hometown of Glidden, Wisconsin.
April 9th, 2011, me and my buddy and our girlfriends, we were out four-wheeling. On our way back, a glove fell off his four-wheeler he was in front of me, and so I went to stop with my four-wheeler. My front brakes locked and grabbed the dirt at the same time. It was really quick, and it hit me right in the back of the neck. I tried getting up, realized my legs didn't work, so I realized I was paralyzed to a degree, didn't know how far. I could feel my hands getting number, but I did know that I shouldn't move, laid there flat, and waited for the ambulance to come.
know, it was devastating, you know, for everybody. It takes a while to make that register. Everybody that knew Ryan, and that's everybody in town, you know, it was devastating. Our little town is just a bundle of helping people whenever something happens, you know, that we get together and make things work. That's the way it works.
They had 3 benefits for me when I was in the hospital to help pay for my bills. So they had this motorcycle ride for me. Then they had, as soon as I got home, they had a huge one up at Marion Park that was set up. And then they had a third one, there was the polar plunge. And it was at that point with that third one, we had everything we wanted paid off. So we're like, well, let's use that last $4,000 we got left over, give it to town, the GADC, which had just started the year prior, the Glen Area Development Corporation, with the ideal that they could use it to look mostly at handicap accessibility with that money. And at that time, they're like, well, I would know as best what that would look like. So they asked me to stay on the GADC to help look at those projects, and that's when it started.
He approached me, he said that he heard that I had some equipment. The first project we did was by the lake. We put in a 220-foot sidewalk, 5.5 feet wide, from the parking lot of the beach down to a pier he had built. There was no place for him to get down to it. And that's what he asked me to help him with. He said, could you grade it out for me? And one thing led to another. I said, well, who's gonna form it and pour it if I grade it? And he goes, I haven't got that far yet. I told him I'd do the whole project. I got a hold of some of my old employees. They came up, they volunteered, and we put the sidewalk in for them. That's how it all started.
Handicap accessibility is really important. So I would like to see more of that. I'd like to see it all expanded, and so everybody could enjoy things. And I think there are people and organizations out there that are willing to help. He never stops trying to get it improved, the Glidden area. I'm very lucky to know him, and I've known him since he was born, and we're very lucky to have him here.
It's so easy to overlook. A small 3-inch curb that you step over might mean nothing to you, but for the next person, it could be a huge boundary. So if you're looking for it, you'll find it. And I do suggest you do what you can to fix it. A little bit here and there, if everyone pitches in, you can do wonders in a small community.
After every bad thing that happens, usually something good will come out of it. And Ryan has filled that role completely. He's really stepped up, you know. It takes a special person not to give up, and he's not a quitter.
Ashland County represents giving back to the community, as captured in stories about the Bad River Tribe Fish Hatchery and fishermen of Ashland, as well as a basket maker striving to bring the community together through sustainability. Available on YouTube. Thank you for watching Uniquely Wisconsin. We hope you like these stories because they are your stories. Our Wisconsin. Check us out on YouTube for more Uniquely Wisconsin.